Hi, students. This video is just a very short lecture about chapters 3 and 4 of volume 1 of Frankenstein. Just so, mostly what I hope is I'm just trying to trace some things you should keep in mind as we're reading Frankenstein that might help you connect what's going on in Frankenstein to the larger topic of the human struggle in our class. Might help you connect it to the Age of Reason. Frankenstein is very much a product of the Romantic period, and in some ways is a reaction to the Age of Reason, which was a reaction to feudalism. So I'm just trying to keep those different threads present in your mind so that you can keep thinking about them and keep writing about them. So we have discussed how in the Age of Reason, there was this new excitement about the search for truth and the spreading of knowledge. And yet in the age, in the Romantic period, there was a new skepticism about the pursuit of truth and science and a real concern about industrialization. We talked about fears about trains that were spreading across Europe and causing death in many cases, and how these new fears about science and technology and industrialization might be reflected in Frankenstein. So one thing you might want to look at and notice as you read is how does technology, or how do technology and science shape Frankenstein's choices? He has this idea, he says, I thought that if I could bestow animation upon lifeless matter, I might, in process of time, although I now found it impossible, renew life where death had apparently devoted the body to corruption. So in some ways, he's trying to conquer nature, right? He's got this idea, I can bring people back from the dead. And that's what he's excited about. So it's important to kind of keep that in mind as we read. He says, I pursued nature to her hiding place. And in creating the creature, he sort of, he travels to kind of places where corpses are kept, charnel houses or places where corpses are kept. He says, who shall conceive the horrors of my secret toil as I dabbled among the unholy damps of the grave or tortured the living animal to animate the lifeless clay? I collected bones from charnel houses and disturbed with profane fingers the tremendous secrets of the human frame. He says, I kept my workshop of filthy creation. My eyeballs were starting from their sockets and attending to the details of my employment. The dissection room and the slaughterhouse furnished many of my materials. I think that's supposed to be dissection room. I'll have to look that up. And often did my human nature turn with loathing for my occupation. So it's kind of a dirty business, the way he describes it. And one thing we might think about is how this connects to Descartes and Kant. What makes something human? For Descartes, it was, I think, therefore I am. Should animals and machines that can think be treated like humans? We definitely have animals and machines that can think. How do these beings and others define themselves? Is it true that everybody knows what is right or not wrong, not because we've learned it, because it is born in the mind, as it attributed to Kant? Kant and Descartes and Wollstonecraft and Deguge and Diderot had very different points of view on certain topics, but they all had a tremendous amount of faith in knowledge and science. Shelley seems to be exploring whether we should have such complete faith in science and knowledge, and if there are other things that make us human besides being able to recreate life with science. And then actually, I think we're going to be talking about the creature's birth scene, but I think that's the next video. So those are just some things I want you to think about in chapters 2 and 3. And then in the next video, we'll talk about the birth of the creature and how things shift at that point.